right, so Zoe and I are here today. We are going to do the experiment on page 36 in your book. So if you want to look at page 36, it will help you. So what you need is, in your house, you probably don't have all these different size cups, but you could find other things to use to measure with. What Zoe and I have here today is just a cup of water. And we have a plastic measuring cup. We have another type of measuring cup. Okay, it's plastic. And they all have lines on them that tell you how much is in them. And then we have a small graduated cylinder, which you probably don't have at home. And we have a large graduated cylinder, which you probably don't have at home. They kind of look like rain gauges. All right, so what we're going to do is Zoe and I are going to show you. We're going to add some food coloring here to this so that you can see the water a little bit easier. Okay. So you're going to want a crayon or marker for your book. Okay. And you can use whatever color you want. I know it says, it shows you a red one. It doesn't really matter if it's red. It can be whatever color you want it to be. I happen to have a colored pencil here, so I'm just going to stir this with a colored pencil. Not a big deal. Okay. All right. So you see we have the red, pinkish colored food coloring. It's supposed to be pink. It's supposed to be pink, but it came out red. Yeah, you can use whatever you want. All right. So what I have here is just my normal everyday measuring cup that we use in the house. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this in one of these cups. So your picture shows this one. So I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to pour it in. It says 250 milliliters. I don't want to fill it that full because that's all the way to the top. So I'm going to fill it to 200 milliliters, I think. I think I have enough water in here to do that. Yeah. Just right. Okay. So what I have here is I have 200 milliliters. Zoe, do you agree that says 200 milliliters right there? 200? Mm-hmm. All right. So I know your book has 250. Like I said, I don't want to fill it all the way up because then it sloshes out. It makes it hard to pour. All right. So in my first cup here, there are 200 milliliters. So if you look on page 1, or excuse me, on page 36, number 1 in your book, there it is. It says there are 200, it says there are blank milliliters in the first cup. So Zoe, can you write 200 in there? Okay. So she wrote 200 milliliters. She's trying to match the color of the water. All right. So we pour the liquid into a cup. Here it is. So Zoe, here's the next one. You want to pour it in this one? Mm-hmm. And we're going to see if the milliliters change. Make sure on your book down here that you write 200 so that you know that we're not using the 250. That's on there. So go ahead and, whoops, wait. They can't see. There we go. No, they can't see. You're going to pour it all in there. You're going to pour all this in there and see if it holds. Now, this shape is different. So we'll see if it holds it all. Go ahead. Pour it in. Just pour. There you go. Keep going. You think it's all going to fit in there?
Probably not. Because this is taller.
What do we know about liquids? Liquids take the shape of their containers, right? Mm-hmm. Keep going. Keep going. Pour it in. You gotta go a little faster. The video can't be that long. Pour it all in there. Come in. There we go. All right. So the 200 milliliters from the measuring cup did fit inside this measuring cup, even though it's a different size. Zoe, how much is in there?
200.
200. So write 200, and you're supposed to color in the amount on the measuring cup. So she's writing 200 and she's going to color it in. Now, while she's doing that, we have two graduated cylinders here. We have the big one and we have the smaller one. I'm going to have Zoe use the big one to pour in the 200 milliliters. Notice this is really tall. It's really tall. Okay. She's going to pour this in. And Zoe, do you think all this is going to fit in that big tube?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Because this is the biggest thing.
Okay.
And that.
Now, how many milliliters are in this measuring cup?
200.
200. All right. Go ahead. Pour it in. Now, if we were at school, I'd have you guys do this at your desk. Each group would be doing this. All righty. There we go.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot. Now, I didn't fill it all the way up, but it did fill it most of the way. So, Zoe, how many milliliters do you think are in there? This says 190. This says 210.
190.
They're counting by, well, look, this is 190. And they're counting by tens. So if this is 190 and this is 210, what would be in between?
100?
Not one. 200, right? And how many milliliters were in the first container?
200.
How many were in the second container?
200.
And how many are in this graduated cylinder?
200.
All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep. And make sure you colored in. Make sure you colored in.
Oh.
Now, this smaller graduated cylinder, it is smaller. It is not going to hold as much, only because it's not meant to hold as much. With smaller graduated cylinder, only holds 50 milliliters. So how many of these smaller ones, sorry, can't see me, can you? How many of these smaller ones, if they only hold 50, how many of these smaller ones are we going to need to hold all of this? What do you guys think? Think about it for a minute. There's 50 here. This is kind of a math problem, but you got to do math when you're in science. So 200, there's 50 in here. How many? Think about the first numbers. Think about the 50. Think about that first number in the 50. It's 5. How many 5s do you need to make 20? Think about the clock. How many 5s do you need to make 20? 4, right? You need 4. So we would have to have 4 of these smaller graduated cylinders to use for all of this. All right. So at the bottom, it says, how did the volume and shape of the water change? So the volume is the amount. Did the amount of water change, Zoe? No, the amount of water didn't change. So if the amount of water didn't change, what did?
The shape.
The shape. So when you talk about volume of a liquid, it doesn't matter what it's in. The amount isn't necessarily going to change, only the shape. Because remember, with liquids take the shape of the container that they're in. So on number 3 in your book, you should write, the volume didn't change, just the shape did. All right. And I hope you have fun with this experiment as well. Use other containers. Like I said, I know you probably don't have graduated cylinders and things like that at home, but see what you have at home that has measurements on it, like a rain gauge, measuring cups, just different things that you might have around the house, and take some pictures of them and send them to me. I'd like to see what your experiments look like. All right, have fun. Yeah, tell them bye.
Bye.